So right now, this is another interesting thing. How long did you take to create a comic book? We can start off with Xuan.
Thank you, Mura. Okay, so I'm going to share some graphics about my comic stages. Okay. First, this is the brainstorming, which took me about a year. As you can see, the doodles and planning sequence is all in a mess. This is the stage where you need to put all your ideas together and you research. And from the doodles, you will need to decide on what characters is going to appear in this chapter and what are they going to do and what is their role. So at planning sequence, okay, when are they going to appear and what will they do and how's the story will go here. After finish this part, you will move to storytelling. And the storytelling, after that I will show it to my editor to see for approve and amendment. This is just the first stage. The second one is the sketches, which is took about a month. The sketches will include the character design finalized with the background design. And after that, I will move all this into the thumbnail. The thumbnail usually they are in boxes. At the boxes part, I will decide the paneling for the characters in the background. After I finish it, I will move it to paneling. Like in one page of comic, how am I going to organize them into it? And the last stage is the approve and amendment again to my editor. Okay, this is the very final one, which is the drafting. It took about half a year. The drafting part is just sketches, and then after that, I will start to ink, and finally is the screen toning, effects, and speech bubble, and add in all the text. But before that, I will need to show to my editor again for approval and amendments before we go to the final book publishing.
Well, this is quite a long pace for constructing a story. Thank you, Christian. Okay, so how about Clio? I believe that you also have a lot of stages to create a comic book. So how is the progress going on?
Thank you, Mura. Alright, so like for my book, right, it's like that one volume is around 120 pages, 4 chapters. So it usually takes me around like 6 months to a year. Yeah. So I will share with you some screenshots as well to show you my process. Just a moment. Actually start with script writing, or at least a summary outline first. And then I will proceed to thumbnails. So you can see the super ugly drawings on the screen right now, right? These are the thumbnails. So basically at this stage, I think I'm the only one who knows what I'm actually drawing. Yeah, so at this part, I just want to know what are the scenes that I want to show. Then I will proceed to the next phase, which is the storyboarding. So at this phase, right, basically I start to plan like which scenes are more important and should have like a bigger portion of the page. So that's why you see that like within a page, then the different scenes are actually divided into different panels. Some are smaller, some are bigger. And then on the middle, in the middle, the second image, right? You see that there are some details already. So this is the pencil work stage. So it's still sketchy. And then usually at this phase, I will show the progress to my editors. So they will run through, and this is when there might be some amendments or revisions, whether to the story, paneling, or the drawing, right? And then the third picture, the last picture, right? That one is also pencil works. All right. Then so if let's say everything is more or less finalized at this phase, we'll proceed to the inking and toning stage. So you can see on this page, right? The lines are cleaned up now, and we will actually add like shading or tones. You see some like gray tones. You see that there's the sky, and then the grass. There's like patchy tones to show that the different texture, right? So so after the inking and toning, right, then I'll proceed to refine dialogues and the speech bubbles and the miscellaneous stuff. And finally, even when you have completed the drawings for, like all the pages, there are still things like book cover, or even like if you want to add special pages in the book, like for mine, I have some like character pages. So these are the miscellaneous stuff that I'll do even when after even the main story, the main part of it is done. So this is basically the whole process. Yeah.
Wow, this is very interesting. A lot of hard work can be seen also, and I believe that the next questions for all artists should be a quite difficult question for you all to answer. Why do you need editors for your comics, and what are the roles they play? So can I start with Xuan?
Thank you, Pura. The question that comic artists always wanted to ask the editor is this my work or your work? When we are too focused on our own comics, we will definitely overlook mistakes. Usually the editor will spot them and correct you, or give you a piece of better advice on how to improve your comic. They are meant good for you, and they won't gain anything from being the bad guy to tell you to amend your work. So don't feel nasty about their existence.
Okay, rather than saying nasty. Okay, being editors is also a very tough task for them because they have to go play the evil guys, that they have to change everything of the work, and then you have to redo a lot of time. So what do you feel about the editors for your comics, Clio?
Thanks, Mura. So to add on to what Xuan has mentioned, I think editors are able to look at our work from a third-party point of view, because as an author, we are often too familiar with our own story and characters, so there might be some blind spots that the editor is able to spot. And also, basically, there's an extra pair of eyes, so they help us to see blind spots in the storytelling or in a drawing, right? Everything. And also, besides that, I think that having an editor actually helped me be more disciplined. Because when you do comics and you work on your own, right? Chances are you might actually miss your deadlines or your timeline because you don't have to answer to anyone. Yeah. So by having an editor, I will be more responsible. Yeah, so it actually helps me to stick to my schedule.
So I hope Clio really follow the schedule that what you mentioned just now. Okay, so the next question is this is quite practical. In the city that we are living, a lot of people will be questioning that whether did you earn as a comic artist, did you have a basic salary or whatever. So what do you think about how is your salary as a comic artist, Xuan?
So do it first. Regarding the salary thing, see, from the top photo, our books are mainly sold to bookstores and libraries, and many people place their order through our online platforms. From there, we can get our earnings. Besides that, I also have a freelance job, the Mystical Gateway, that you can see at the bottom. Yeah. As for taking a booth at event is optional. Usually, I tag along with my friends. If they are going, I will join because I can meet my friends and know new friends. Not everyone will have a suitable event for me to attend. Some more, my job load is getting heavier. Just relying on getting a booth in the event cannot really sustain my earnings. Yeah, so this is how my salary goes.
So thank you, Xuan. Okay, what about Clio? How did you earn as a learning for the comic artist?
Thank you, Mura. Okay, so I think for myself, I think that actually salary may not be the best word here to describe our income, because usually when we talk about salary, people think about like a fixed pay every month. But as comic artists, the income is irregular, and it pretty much depends on the amount of activity that you have, the number of books that you are producing. And the income can come from various sources. So to add on to what Shen has mentioned, books selling at events, and also one of the main sources is basically getting royalties from book sale, meaning that even when we actually don't go down to event and sell our books, right, our publisher, they would have actually distributed our books to certain bookstores, and they themselves are also selling books on their online store. So for every book that they sell, we receive a certain percentage. So that is the royalty part. And then we also receive like other kind of income. For example, when you get invited to speak at workshops or talks, so something like this one right now, we are getting paid for like attending this talk. So thank you, SGOCF. Yeah, so and also you may get invited to be a judge in art competition or comics competition. So these are the various sources of income. Then another thing that I want to share is also merchandising. So besides the book itself, because we also produce our own merchandise, some of us, and aside from that, some of us also work with like partners or third parties to produce merchandise. So for myself, I'm actually currently also working with a local band called Pretty Ska. So I will just show you some of the stuff that we are doing right now. Okay, just a moment, let me share my screen. So you can see on the left is actually a screenshot of a YouTube video. So basically we are collaborating and they are producing original music. So this I'm providing artwork for their music video, and they are featuring A Deal With Lucifer. And then recently we are also going into t-shirts. So basically I provide the design, the illustrations, and they will take care of the rest. So in this case, I am receiving like licensing fees for this. So this is just another source of income that comic artists can get. Yeah.
There was quite a lot of merchandise. So I believe that both of you really have some royalties and earnings from events and from publisher and even from overseas readers who support you all.